Hello, thanks for joining me. I wanted to show and share with you a few bits and pieces that I brought from, it's a store like one of these stores that sells lots of things that are quite cheap. It's not a pound store, although they've got a few things like that, but they've got other things as well, and they sell householdy things and, you know, products and stuff like that. And it's sometimes a good idea to be able to have a look in these stores, because you can often pick up bits and pieces that you can use in your craft and arts work or journaling or whatever it is, and you'll find them at a reasonable price. So I wanted to show you these two things. So they're room decorations. They're self-adhesive stickers, but they're foam based. And I got two types. One obviously is the birds, and you know, you've got the flowers and swirly things, and the other one is these butterflies and flowers. And when I saw these, I thought, oh, they'd make some really good additions to journals. And basically what you can do, I'm gonna take out one and show you. And as I say, if you go into these stores, this was in the lighting and kind of bedding department, but for all of these stickers, and as I say, they're quite thick, they're made of foam, as you can see, they're quite thick. For all of these stickers, this was £2. Now if I was to actually go into the craft store and buy these, it would be a lot more, because I can show you one of the other bits, embellishments that I brought, and for just 6 of them. So here's another one I brought. I will show you on this. So these are owls, and there are 3 different designs, but for the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For the 8 owls, that was £1.50. So it's practically the same, you know, just a little 50p less than that. And you know, obviously these are a lot bigger. So I found a journal that I would want to put something like this on. This is a let's just measure it now. This is one I made, and I will show you. I've got a video coming up in how I made this one, but I'll just give you the size. So this is 8 by 7.5 inches, and I'm thinking, so they're quite big. So obviously, depending on the type of journal you're going to use, you know, you have to gauge with the size. But I'm thinking of using, say, this one, and just having it go in that direction. What this is handmade paper that's been decorated. It had fish on, and this journal is actually it's a paying-in book. You can see it's a paying-in book. And all I've done is stuck some of the pages together and gessoed some of them, and I've just started some work on them. But but I just wanted to show you the size of these things. So they're quite large. And basically all I would do with this is get hold of my get hold of my PVA glue and just apply the glue to the back. Just give it a good amount because we don't want it coming off. This PVA glue is the strong variety. Okay, so I'm going to let it sit there for a minute. It will go a bit tacky and then I'll apply it. But while that's doing, I'm going to show you the rest of the stuff that I brought. Let's give you a closer look there. Okay, so as I say, I've got the owls. There's 3 different designs in there, and I've brought some fairies and some more birds. And what I was thinking with these was to do a mould. So I've got some, it's rubber latex mould making, and here's one that I've already done, and this is of, so that's a mould that I've done of, just get it here, this is a ladybird, so it's the back of the ladybird, and that didn't take too long to do, and it's all dried nicely. It's just a little bit of detail it didn't pick up, but that's, you know, that's fine. I'm going to be using it for clay and stuff like that. I made some others, but where you were, it's besides the point. It's going off task here, but here are some other little molds that I made. They don't really work as well as this one does. This one. Anyway, so my thoughts were to double it up, stick it together, double it up, and then it would go in here, and it would form. The mould would form around here. So this is just a lid, and the same with the birds. The birds have got detail on that would actually come up quite nicely, possibly, I'm not sure, in clay. So to have, you know, the detail there. So we're going to experiment and see. It's nice with the moulds, it's nice then that you can use it with clay, or you can get the Fimo out. Fimo clay. I got some more bird stamps, and this was good value because you get 11 stamps for, this was £2.50. So and these the birds, you know, some of the birds' designs are nice, that you can kind of stamp them and cut them out, and then, you know, put them onto card, or, you know, however you want to kind of make your own embellishments from these. I thought this was nice. This was a bargain. And let's see. Oh, I forgot about these. I got some. I got this magazine. I'm so glad I didn't throw the bag away. I got this magazine because I went to Hobbycraft, and this magazine was on sale. Now it's a lot cheaper than the magazines that are coming out now that are kind of all craft based. But it's got some free paper, 12 Days of Christmas paper pack, Now, I love paper. So, I think it's got 5 designs. 6x6 papers, 5 designs. And the great thing about these is that they're not backed. I've, get a lot of paper from, some of the other magazines. They do paper, but it's like double-sided, and it's just like, no, but I like both sides of the paper. I don't want it to I don't want to have to choose like this one. This one's a nice one with birds, but it's just like, I mean, I understand why they do it, because it's cost effective for them. Anyway, but this is good, so I don't have to, worry that I'm not going to get to use the design on the back because it's just plain. And there's some nice little designs, Christmassy designs. And it also came with a stamp, which has got a banner and a little message, special Christmas wishes. And that was for £3, £2.95. That came to. And then you've got some useful tips. I'll do that afterwards. You've got some useful tips and some money off vouchers in there, and some things to make, some ideas, and it's all kind of Christmassy theme. But it's really it's quite a cost-effective magazine. And then last but not least, it's this little stamp. Now, I must stop buying stamps. I've just got so many now that... now, this is just silhouette of kids just running. So, I was just thinking in... if I had done... Like, this is some paper that I've decorated. And... stamp it up. Like so. And then, little pieces of paper that you might not have necessarily used. You can then create, like you've got the background. This was just an offcut of paper that I decided not to use, and I just cut them up thinking, they can you can use it for something. But as you can see, with the stamps, it just kind of creates another kind of little look, and then I can use this if I wanted to, put an embellishment on it, and this use it as a topper. But these little stamps are really quite good. And then the other thing is, if you want to maybe, say for instance, in a journal, so I'm just doing like, just bits here. I might not use it, but it's the excess bits that I'm sure you can kind of just stamp it off rather than just wiping it off. You can still use the image on other things. So those were the things that I brought today. And so when I buy, as I said, I usually think about a variety of things that I can do with a particular thing. I like to think about it's not just for the use that I'm going to use it for. So like I said, the owls you can make, the birds you can make, like little embellishments for them. You can stamp them in whatever it is you're going to use. For these, I'm going to not only use them as the embellishment that they are, and I'll use them and maybe paint them because they're made of wood. I can maybe add it to a journal, like this particular bird. I've got this journal here, but I might decide to, actually I think I will, add the bird here, but I'm going to add some colour to the bird. Or actually, that side of the bird is really nice, so I might actually stick that on, and she's looking in that direction. Anyway, so that's the kind of thing that you might decide to do. And again, so with these room decoration stickers, I'm not actually going to use them for room decoration. I mean, I might use one of the butterflies I've got in my studio. The theme is kind of like those dandelion leaves and butterflies. I've got quite a few butterflies kind of flowing in here, so we might, I don't like, this is a colour that I like, but this is not the colour that I would want up on the walls on my studio, so we might, you know, kind of paint them. You could gesso it and paint it, so we'll see with the other sticker on the journal how that goes, because I don't want to use it like that. So I'm going to leave it there, and do check back in some of the other videos. I'm going to show you how to make a lot of journals. I've got a lot of journal tutorials coming up, and other things that I've made, and uses of, you know, some of the stamps. So maybe giving you some ideas on how, you know, if you've got a stamp like this, how many different ways you can use it and make it worth the money, worthwhile, you know. I think it's very easy to go and buy lots of things and then find you don't actually really use them a lot. But a lot of the things I buy, I try and, as I say, make sure that I can use them for more than one thing. So my paints are not just to paint a portrait. I use it in my mixed media work. I use it on, you know, different types of material. I use it on fabric, and that's the fun of you know, being expressive and experimenting. Look, I've got some foil here. You know, I use the foil obviously not only in the kitchen, but I create, you can create beads out of them. I've got a tutorial coming up on how to make jewellery using, you know, foil, especially the foil that, you know, when you tear it off and for some reason a bit got stuck and then a whole sheet doesn't tear off. So rather than throw it away because you can't use it, you know, you can then bring it into your studio and create something from it. And you might have seen, so this one, that's what I did with this. That's made from foil. It's just foil and cardboard. It says Grace. I did some paint and some gesso, as you see, the back. I've got to stick that down, but that's cardboard and foil. And you've got something that actually looks really nice. And I'm going to do the edging, decorate it. It's not finished. Okay, so check back, you know, come and look at some of the videos and you know, hopefully be inspired. And I'll show you how I got on with the bird from the giant sticker. And, you know, other ways that you can also use your creativity. So, bye for now.